But the moment you start to walk toward your dream and you start to break habits, you start to change relationships that no longer serve that dream, you start to be talked about. Now, many people are afraid of failure, which really means that they're afraid of being ridiculed. But once you become aware that you're going to be ridiculed if you fail and you're going to be talked about if you succeed, then you can be able to put that aside. Because you know you're going to be talked about either way.
No matter what, yeah.
You know, if you go forward and you fall, oh, he went forward and he didn't make it. When circumstances and situations are pressing in upon us, the only way we can overcome them is to go within. To actually begin to ask very empowering questions with the awareness that this universal presence and its law will answer any question that you ask. So if you're in a situation that is pressing on you and you ask, what's trying to emerge in my life? What is my gift to share? What is my purpose? Why am I here on the planet? Not just how can I pay my rent, not just how can I stop the pain, which aren't bad questions. You ask empowering questions, the universe will answer these questions in a language and in a way that you can understand. There'll be inner prompting, there'll be intuitive hits, nudges, signs, symbols, dreams. It'll come in the language of the individual soul and heart. The difficulty is that when people are in tough situations, they ask disempowering questions.
Whoa.
They say, what's wrong? Who's to blame?
Yeah. Why me? Yes.
Those are the disempowering questions. So the universe will answer those too. It'll pull on the database of human experience and say, you were born on the wrong side of the tracks, or you were born on the right side of the tracks, or this happened or that happened. It'll give you a bevy of excuses. But if you ask an empowering question, you'll get an answer to rise above the muck. So it's all about the question, the sincerity of the question, and then the ability and the willingness to really listen, to really be available. That's where the juice is.
And that is available to every human being.
Whether an individual is in prison, whether an individual is imprisoned by circumstance, imprisoned in their own mind about an event that happened in their past, it doesn't matter. Once you ask with sincerity, the universe will answer. That's the way it operates. People have a tendency to care more about what other people are thinking about them than what their soul wants. And so they live from, what is so-and-so going to think of me? And what's my mother going to think of me? What's the society's going to think of me? And inside, everyone has a destiny, bright, beautiful destiny. The soul is calling us to greatness, your name of your show, to be great beings, to be great lights, to live fully. And oftentimes people will dim their light in order to fit into someone else's paradigm and end up with crisis, end up with disease, end up with prolonged sadness.
Yeah.
When if you just step out of that, there's so much life to live, you see. So I think a lot of people are just run by what others are thinking about them rather than what their soul wants.
Yeah.
We have to be aware that mediocrity always attacks excellence.
Ooh.
It's kind of a rule. No one's attacking a couch potato.
Right. No one cares.
No one cares. If you're sitting on the couch eating potato chips and getting fat and doing nothing, no one says anything. But the moment you start to walk toward your dream and you start to break habits, you start to change relationships that no longer serve that dream, you start to be talked about. Now, many people are afraid of failure, which really means that they're afraid of being ridiculed. But once you become aware that you're going to be ridiculed if you fail and you're going to be talked about if you succeed, then you can be able to put that aside. Because you know you're going to be talked about either way.
No matter what, yeah.
If you go forward and you fall, oh, he went forward and he didn't make it. Or if you go forward and succeed, they'll say, oh, it was luck, whatever they say about you. So once you get out of your mind or become aware that people are going to talk about you either way, then you go for it, you see. And at the end of the day, you are different because you went for it. That you going for it actually brings out latent powers and gifts and talents within you that can't come to bloom unless you go for it. So then when you reach your next mountaintop, and mountaintops are endless.
Yeah.
When you reach your next peak, who's with you are the people that are supposed to be with you or could be with you based on what you have become. Now you go for another peak. You keep your heart open. You never just
Yeah.
jettison people out of your life. Your heart is open, but you're constantly growing and unfolding. You become uninterested in it. You are not interested in what other people are thinking about you. You're only interested in what the universe is thinking about you. And what is the universe thinking about you? That you're a beautiful expression of infinite possibility.
And I believe that.
You do believe that?
I do believe that.
You're just sensitive to
Yeah.
other people. So instead of being interested in their vibration, you begin to impute a vibration, that is to give a vibration. So whenever you see negative energy or feeling negative energy, you're going to share love. You're going to give peace from yourself. It's going to lift your frequency so you become impervious. You won't be touched by the lower vibration. Some people have goals that they want to manifest, but the goals have come from the parental fantasies, what their mother wanted them to be when they grew up, or their dad, or what their teacher told you should be, or what your church told you should be. No, there's something within you. And you want to have a goal that's worthy of that which is within you and that grows you at the same time. So as I'm speaking to you right now, I want you to begin to remember those moments in your life from the time that you could first think as a child, as an infant. There were some ideas that flowed through you. There were some meant-to-be-isms. There were some ways that you wanted to challenge yourself to make a difference on the planet. Before you got bombarded with societal fantasies, there was something about you, because you know what? You chose to be here. You're not an accident. Regardless of what your parents may have told you, you are an on purpose with a purpose. So as I'm speaking to you, you're becoming aware, you're starting to remember that being that knew why he or she arrived on the planet, the gifts they wanted to share, and the difference, here it is, the difference they wanted to make on the planet. You want to make a difference on the planet. That difference you want to make is a goal that's worthy of your soul. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to consider answering this question. What difference do I want to make on the planet before I leave? How do I want the world to be better before I leave? How do I want my relationships, my neighborhood, anything I encounter to be better before I leave? As you are answering that question, you are beginning to bump into the reason why you chose this incarnation.